A day after the Central Board for Secondary Education, or CBSE, announced the phased implementation of the National Education Policy's three-language formula, the state of Maharashtra has made a major announcement of its own. The Maharashtra state government has now made Marathi compulsory from classes 1 to 10 in all schools across the state, irrespective of the education board. Making the announcement, School Education Minister of Maharashtra, Dada Bhuse, said every affiliated school in Maharashtra will be required to teach Marathi as a compulsory subject. He also made it clear that institutions violating the government's directive will face strict action. The decision comes after concerns were raised in the Maharashtra State Assembly that several schools were allegedly not implementing the mandatory teaching of Marathi despite existing rules. Legislators also questioned whether the penalties imposed on such schools were sufficient and whether enforcement had been effective. Responding to these concerns, the Education Minister announced that the government will launch a statewide inspection to verify compliance. Schools found violating the rules, along with officials responsible for enforcement, could face stringent action, and the government says the move is aimed at preserving, promoting and strengthening the Marathi language while ensuring that every student studying in Maharashtra develops proficiency in the state's official language. The announcement also comes against the backdrop of the centre's new three-language policy under the National Education Policy, or NEP. While CBSE has clarified that the rollout will be gradual and current batches have been given transitional relief, Maharashtra has moved ahead with its own decision to make Marathi compulsory across all schools in the state. The larger question now is whether more states will adopt similar language policies as the national education policy continues to be rolled out across the country. We have CB Sharma, educationist, now joining us. CB Sharma, your first thoughts on Maharashtra's latest move?
I believe it is misunderstood and misplaced.
Okay.
The policy that is being implemented or imposed in Maharashtra is unfortunate, and this is because the policy has not been understood. This has never been the essence of the three-language formula. So what the Maharashtra government is trying to say and do is completely against the National Education Policy 2020, which is very, very progressive in terms of language issue. Never before had any policy not been opposed, but this is the first policy which has gone through without any opposition. Even in Tamil Nadu, which has been pioneer state in opposing policies as far as language is concerned. I'm very surprised that the government of Maharashtra, which is of the same political party that is in the center, which proposes and passes a national education policy which says of the three-language formula, is opposing in the state. Now, let me clarify some of the things. The national education policy has adopted a new school structure, which says it will be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. The first 5 years, the policy is very clear, has to be in mother tongue. Now, there is not one language spoken in Maharashtra, mind you. When the government says, the Maharashtra government says that Marathi will be compulsory, you are forgetting that Varhadi is the language of Vidarbha, which has 3 crore speakers. And you are discriminating against the Vidarbha speakers of Varhadi when you say that Marathi will be imposed. Similarly, Arhani is the language of Khandes, where you have 2.5 crore people speaking Arihani, and they would be discriminated against Marathi speakers. Let me remind why I'm taking these languages and I'm mentioning these. The national education policy is very, very clear. Every language spoken in our country, whether it's in the 8th schedule or not, is our language. They are the languages of this country, and we need to support and preserve all of them, including smaller languages like Vardhani, Arihani, Dangi, which is spoken on the outskirts of Maharashtra and the bordering districts of Gujarat. Similarly, Konkani. You have a large number of Konkani speakers in Maharashtra. Why are you discriminating against them? And why we had said in the national education policy that all mother tongues would be taught and they would be given equal status. You have two major tribal languages in Maharashtra, Bhilai and Korku. You are discriminating against the tribal population who are first generation learners. They would be coming to school. And we had said that the language of the first 5 years, that is foundation stage, will be mother tongue and not the one of the scheduled languages of the 8th schedule. So Bhilai and Korku have to be taken as as the medium of instruction in the foundation stage. Now you are saying this policy says what the government wants to say is that from class 1 to 10 Marathi would be compulsory. Then what are you telling the people of speakers of Varhadi, Arihani, Dangi, Konku, Konkani, Bhilai, Korku, that this state is not yours and we don't care for you. Don't also forget 9% of the native Marathis who return their status as Marathi speak Hindi. 6% Urdu. So they constitute 15%. Now, if you combine all of them, you will find that the pure Marathi speakers are not exactly in majority in the state. These languages are as important as Marathi is or any other Indian language. I must say, as a linguist, I care about Konkani, Varhadi, Arihani, Bhili, Kunku. Why let them die?
Okay,
Just because.
can I just, it's fascinating listening to you, profile the many languages of India. You're talking about Tamil Nadu, agreeing with the national education policy. I come from Tamil Nadu, and then I had to ask you this, how else do regional languages be, promoted? And because the questions are like, now you have all these issues and clashes coming up because, the immigrants in different states are not learning the local language, are not learning the local tongue. That has started to become an issue.
No, Krishna, it's not so. Look, everyone wants to preserve one's own language.
Yeah.
I am from Bihar and my mother tongue is not Hindi. I'm a Maghi speaker. I love Maghi as much as I love Hindi. I mean, I know your mother tongue, you come from Tamil Nadu, you said, your mother tongue will not be Chase standard Tamil. It must be one of the regional languages which you would love to preserve. And that is the concern of linguists and the National Education Policy 2020. So all those states which start talking about language issue, they buckle under the pressure of linguistic politics. Don't forget, the first linguistic riot in India after independence came from Maharashtra and Mumbai. And you would remember, I mean, as somebody who understands language politics and language, that the Maharashtra politics revolve around language, and it was because of that that Gujarat and Maharashtra became two states. During the 1950s, Sayukt Maharashtra movement, which started in 1950, the first language movement after independence started from Mumbai, and this was against Gujarati. What I am trying to highlight is Maharashtra politics for a very long time since 1950 has evolved around linguistic politics, and that has succeeded. Now, MNS demands Marathi, and the government is buckling under the pressure of MNS.
Okay, hate to interrupt you. Quickly, I was asking that question simply because, say, for example, if somebody in Mumbai, chooses to take, those 3 language policies in which, there's 2 Indian languages and 1 foreign language, and neither of the 2 Indian languages are Marathi. And then you'll have a situation in Maharashtra where you have the flexibility to pick 3 languages, out of which 2 Indian languages, and you don't pick the local tongue.
Look, I will tell you. The policy says, and it is their understanding of linguists and educational policy makers like me, the child, say you were in Mumbai and you had to send your child to school. You will say, my child will go to a Tamil-speaking school, if you're a Tamil-speaking, and you want your child to develop that. For the first 5 years, that is foundation stage. Class preschool to class 2. Class 3, when he or she goes, your child, your child will decide whether he or she wants to study in Marathi, English, Hindi, or any other languages. Second language. So, first language, mother tongue, whatever the child chooses. Second, the major language of the nation, one of the 8 schedule. Third language has to be a global language or an Indian language. Leave it to the children. Let me tell you one thing. As a linguist and as a language planner, Hindi is opposed. Are you aware that most students from Manipur, Arunachal, Tamil Nadu, the Tripura, Meghalaya study Hindi as a second language? Leave it to them. Till you make it a policy, force upon them,
Okay.
you will not be able to succeed to do it.
Fair enough.
Let me tell you, the biggest business in education today is online Hindi teaching to Tamil children.
Fair
Tamil
enough, sir.
children, Tamil parents.
You know,
are
interesting you to bring it up
taking
because
online classes.
I learned Hindi as a language from the time I was in 4th grade. In Chennai, so so I can, and in fact we used to have those Hindi Prachar Sabha exams we used to take. There's Prathamik, Madhyama, Rashtrabhasha, Praveshika, Visharad Purva, and Visharad Uttarat. I've done those, the first couple of them at least, and I used to have Hindi as a third language as well. So it's not surprising today that so many Tamilians are. In fact, the one statistic nobody talks about is that as for a non-native Hindi speaker, Tamilians are the highest learners of the Hindi language. That's a statistic that often goes missing. So anyways, this is a conversation that's a long...
Just one anecdote. I was on the Delhi airport and I met a lady. I won't name her. And I sort of confused whether she's my colleague or I have seen her. And I asked, sorry, I'm such and such. She said, I'm such and such. Then I said, oh, sorry, I'm president of the teacher association. So I thought you are one of my teachers and you are my voter. So she said, नहीं शर्मा साहब, मैं तो हिंदी मीडियम स्कूल से पढ़ी हूँ और मैं हिंदी बहुत अच्छे से जानती हूँ और आपके राज्य की लीडर है वो जो हिंदी को अपोज करती है और उसने अपने हमको कहा है कि मैं हिंदी मीडियम स्कूल में गई हूँ. Look, what I would say, Krishna, is...
point taken, CB Sharma, point taken. We're completely out of time over here. Thank you for that last anecdote. Thank you so much. And with that, wrap here from my side. Thank you for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.